meditation okay, let us begin this video, guys. I just wanted to start by saying that there's a lot going on in the world right now, and that's part of what inspired me to do this video. Hello everyone, my name is Edna Njeri, and on today's video I really just wanted to catch up with you guys on how I've been coping. There is so much going on, and even just being on social media, we are constantly consuming so much news and information that is just basically transferring negative energy to us, and it's so continuous. And in this time we have been forced to be by ourselves. We have been forced to face ourselves because we're basically hanging out with ourselves for the next couple of weeks. It's pretty indefinite from where we stand now. I mean, we are hoping for the best, but also being realistic, especially of the fact that our health system in Kenya is not that great. So for me, how I've been coping, initially I was so unproductive. I was just over it. I was just like, now I'm stuck home. There's a bunch of videos that I was planning to shoot that was so outdoorsy. Now it's just like postponed indefinitely. I was so excited to shoot a lookbook. I cannot wait. Like, that's the first thing I'm doing once this is over, shooting a lookbook, because that is gonna be fire. So make sure you subscribe. And so for the first couple of days I was really unproductive, and I was just like bombing. Day 1, day 2, then it's like, okay, now we need to come to terms with the fact that this is changing. And so for me, what I did is that I came up with a timetable for myself. Usually when I plan my week, it's extremely detailed. There's 3 notebooks involved, multiple lists, calendar schedule, like it's intense. I'm a big planner, I'm big on planning. Now, when I was creating this timetable, it was just generally for me to have a flow of my day. For example, 9 to 10 a.m. workout, 10 a.m. like it was just really breaking down my day for work stuff, YouTube stuff, and just all the other things that I'm trying to do during this time. I do think that this period can be useful for self-improvement, though I completely understand that not everyone is in a position to do that. And so part of my timetable has been, I work out in the morning and then I meditate every night. And meditation is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. The reason why I chose to meditate at night is because for me, the quality of sleep that I get is paramount to how I function the next day, to my mood. I don't play around with sleep. Like, I will have a deficit of even 1 day and it'll affect me for 2 to 3 days. And so I've really found that nightly meditation has helped me just calm my mind down, ease into the relaxation part of my evening, and in that way get ready to sleep. So I have always meditated, but it's always been on and off, and something that I promised myself in this period, as I've said, is that I would try and just build some positive habits. So this is something that I'm trying to build consistently. I know most people think it takes 21 days to build a habit, but it actually doesn't. Where this idea that it takes 21 days to break a habit started was from this book called Cybernetics, which was written in, I think, 1960 by a doctor. So what he wrote in the book about habits taking 21 days to form was because he would notice that his patient, someone who, for example, had an amputation, it would take them about 21 days to get used to now their new situation. And so when he wrote this book, he used that as a reference of how long the human brain takes to like adjust until a new thing becomes automatic. And so since that book was put out, that's how everyone else started saying that it takes 21 days to form a habit, but it actually doesn't. On average, it takes about 66 days to form a habit. So this is actually based on scientific research. This research is published in the European Journal of Psychology, and in this study they examined 96 people over a 12-week period. So each of those people picked up a new habit, and they would report back on whether they did it daily and how automatically it felt on a day-to-day basis. They found that it takes 66 days on average to form a new habit, but that's the average. So periodically it could take anywhere from 18 days to 254 days. But the reason I'm telling you that is because as I talk about meditation in today's video, everything that I'm going to be sharing is based on science, backed by statistics, and scientific research. I completely understand that people who have negative perceptions or negative ideas around meditation, it's because they think it's not really proven to be anything, but I'm here to tell you that it is. And as we get into this video, I will tell you how it has impacted my life. But first, I want to start with the history of meditation. So meditation was actually dates back to around 1500 BC in India, where it was known as a practice called jhana, which basically translates to training the mind. And traces of it have actually been found also in Chinese history. It's traced back to an ancient Chinese philosopher who's very popular. His name was Lao Tzu. Since then, it's really grown and developed the several types of meditation. When you just look it up, you'll get so many different results of how many there are. Some articles will be the 5 types, another article will be the 24 types, but all of these different categories of meditation that you get when you Google them can actually be split up into 2. So the first category is concentration meditation, which is where you focus on a particular sound or image or sensation. So for example, mantra meditation would fall under this. And then the second type of meditation is mindfulness meditation, which involves opening up and becoming more aware of the continuous passing stream of thoughts, emotions, and sensations without identifying oneself to them. Examples of meditation that fall into the mindfulness meditation category is, for example, Zen meditation and Vipassana. So personally, I practice mindful meditation. It's what helps me sort of calm my mind and just get ready to sleep. And before we get into that a bit more, I just want to talk about the benefits of meditation in case you're still skeptical and don't understand why you should invest time in building this habit. There are so many benefits, actually scientifically proven benefits, guys. I wrote down 5 that sort of cover everything from mental health to physical health, so I'm just gonna go through the 5, but there's a lot more, and once again, all the resources for everything I'm talking about. The first one is stress and anxiety reduction. So for this one, they did a study over a period of 8 weeks, and this study showed that mindful meditation reduces the inflammation in our bodies that's caused by stress. So naturally in our bodies, we have a stress hormone that's called cortisol, and cortisol promotes the release of chemicals in our bodies that increase inflammation. These chemicals are called cytokines. What do these cytokines do? They disrupt your sleep, they promote anxiety, they increase blood pressure. So then it's just like a domino effect. Meditation also improves some of the symptoms of stress-related conditions like PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and irritable bowel syndrome. So that's just the first benefit. Let's go into the next one. Meditation promotes emotional health. How it does this is that it gives you it helps you develop a positive outlook to life through creating an improved self-image. It's sort of tied into the next one, which is it enhances your self-awareness. So through meditation, you're able to develop a stronger understanding of yourself. As you're able to recognize the harmful and destructive thoughts that are in your mind, you're then able to steer towards more constructive patterns in your life. And then we move on to the reason why I started meditating at night, is that it improves your sleep. You're gonna get such good quality sleep when you meditate. There was also a study where the people were split into 2 groups. One group of people meditated, one group of people didn't, and as you can guess, the results came to show that those who are meditating reported a much better quality of sleep consistently. The final benefit that I want to mention of meditation is that it enhances your concentration, your memory, and your ability to learn. So a study by Harvard University in collaboration with Massachusetts Hospital showed beneficial growth in the brain areas associated with memory, learning, empathy, self-awareness, as we mentioned previously, and stress regulation. So if you want to get technical, this is the insular part of the brain, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. So those are only a few of the benefits that you could get from meditation. There's so many more, and again, these are scientifically proven. Let's get into how I meditate. As I mentioned, I prefer mindful meditation. So I do it for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes every evening. I literally just go on my phone and set a timer. for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how tired I am, how I'm feeling mentally. So I set the timer on my phone and I focus on my breaths. So I'll breathe in for a count of 6, hold my breath for another 6, and then breathe out for a count of 6. And I'll just keep doing that over and over until I'm able to stabilize my breath, because you'll notice it will slowly change your heart rate. So I do that until I'm able to stabilize my breath, and then I'll draw my mind to the different sensations going on around my body. So I'll just try and feel my lungs fill up with oxygen as I breathe in, try and feel my diaphragm, pay attention to my heartbeat. As I'm doing this, I am getting distracted. That's the thing with meditation. Even, for example, people say prayer is a form of meditation, and as you're praying, sometimes you'll get the most random, non-prayer related thoughts in your head. Yeah, so I do get distracted as I'm doing this breathing. But the trick is, every time you get distracted, you become aware of that distraction, and then you pull your mind back to the meditation. And that's sort of the thing with meditation. As you consistently practice meditation on a day-to-day basis, you're able to focus on the breath work or whatever meditation you're doing with greater ease. So that's how I meditate nightly. Personally, I'm focused on my breath work at the moment, but again, this is likely to change once I'm meditating for different reasons. Now that you've understood a bit about that, I'm going to share some resources that you guys can look into. I think as a beginner, it's easier to start with guided meditations, and for that, there are apps that you can check out like Headspace, Insight Timer, the Calm app, and Lumosity. I'll leave these apps in the description, so just have a look, see what works for you. I really like the voice of the guy who does the guided meditation on Headspace. On most of these apps, you can choose do you want a male or female voice? Do you want them to have a British or American accent? So you'll choose whatever you're more comfortable with. But besides the apps, if you don't want to download a new app, you don't have space, whatever, I'll leave some links of YouTube meditations that you could do, guided meditations and mantra meditations. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I really just wanted to come on here and share one thing that I've been doing that's really been helping me center my mind throughout all this. I'm urging you to really try it during this time. It can really help you shift your mind to a more positive space and just sort of calm yourself, especially if you feel overwhelmed with the situation at home. For example, people who have kids and you're stuck dealing with a lot of things going on at the same time. Just try to take a moment when you can, just before bed or just when you wake up, those little quiet moments you have, to try and center your mind, and it does make a difference. Again, all the tips, all the resources, all the information are in the description box. The goal is not for you to get rid of your thoughts and emotions, it's for you to become aware and learn how to navigate through them without getting stuck. And with that, I'd like to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I noticed that 60% of my viewers are not subscribed, and that really sucks. So please subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and I will catch you guys next week. Peace.